I've been using the Apple Watch SE 40mm GPS version only for almost a year now, and I have some thoughts about it. And also, there are a couple of things about this Apple Watch SE that I have found out, and I want to let you know about it. Especially if you're looking to purchase this in 2022 or even in December 2021. This watch has gotten pretty old now, but still it has all the basic features that most users would require, and that is why actually it comes at a very reasonable price also, so it makes a great deal and a good option to consider. So let's see if it holds up 1 year later, and if it's really worth the price and up to the mark. So we all know that this is the one of the most affordable Apple watches around, especially in the latest category with all the bells and whistles of and any smartwatch should have. And the reason for making this video now is that I have found out a couple of issues with it. So let's get started. So in this video, I'll first be touching on the cons of this Apple Watch SE, and then we'll talk about the pros also and overall if it's recommended or not. So guys, the first thing I want to talk about is the durability. I know that many friends that I have seen who own an Apple Watch have already taken a screen protector or something to protect the body of it, and I would definitely recommend that because the body is not that durable. I have already scratched on near the screen. Thankfully, the screen is not cracked or anything. The body is dented a bit, but there is one scratch, and it's not difficult to damage the body of this watch. So do get some screen protector and also a protective case around it. So, but do note that getting that would actually increase the size of this watch. And if you're having a 40 watch, then it should be okay. But if you are going for the 44 and in that, if you put a protective case, then the size would increase considerably. It would look like a hefty device on your wrist. So that is one thing to consider because it does need some protection to go with, and do try it out in a store along with the case if that much of a big device on your wrist is okay for you. Now, the next thing that I want to mention about is the comfort of this watch. See, basically, when it comes to smartwatches and especially this Apple Watch SE, you have to wear it tight. You can't wear it loose. And the material of this watch is rubber material, and continuously wearing it for a long duration, like because this is a watch that we usually wear the entire day to track our activities and heart rate and all that stuff. So if you're wearing continuously, so this material is not that good for skin, because I've also seen many reports, and personally also I have felt that you may or may not get some rashes on your wrist. So this material is not that skin friendly, I would say. The only reason that I'm mentioning this point is because it's Apple, you know. They mostly focus on the user's experience, the user's health. So Apple products would be the best one to actually give this suggestion to, that use a material that actually is skin friendly and does not affect most people given skin rash or such. There are also some people I know that only wear this watch when they are actually working out. So for them, it's not an issue. But if you're wearing an entire day, which I think most people would, because the I mean, it's the purpose of a smartwatch to wear an entire day to get all your notifications, to track your daily activities, to continuously monitor your heart rate. So in that cases, then this would affect those people, and I think this is something to consider also. Now, the next thing is that has actually bugged me a lot, and this is an issue with the accuracy of the tracking of this Apple Watch SE. So I've mostly faced this. Actually, it's not accuracy; it's about adding to the exercise goal. And there are many forums where I've seen that people have faced this issue, and I've also reported this to Apple. So see what the issue is, that I've mostly faced this on indoor walks, outdoor walks, and also while cycling. So it tracks the workout really well. The heart rate is tracked well. The duration is tracked well. When you look into workouts, you see that workout tracked really well. Also, the GPS and everything is perfect, but somehow it does not add to the exercise goal. There have been several times where I've just seen that I have worked out for 45 minutes or so, and I can see that workout. But when I check the exercise goal, it has moved only about 1 minute or so. So I think at first I thought that maybe this is to do something with the logic of an exercise probably. Like probably you have to constantly have a high heart rate or something to count it as an exercise. And that's why I have reported this to Apple, and they admitted that this was an issue, and we I needed to speak to the health department for that, but I could never get in touch with them because the call was never received. I tried multiple times for that, so I could never get in touch with the health department to discuss this topic. But yeah, this is some issue that is there, and most of the times what I do now is that there is a mode called mixed cardio, like walking and all cycling. Usually you can count them as cardio as well, so I usually turn on the mixed cardio mode. So that works really well and adds to the exercise goal as well, and also it tracks your activity well. Even if you're pausing, it lets you know that you have paused now, and it does not add. So that mixed cardio mode works well, but the actual modes like indoor walk, outdoor walk, or cycling, they do not add up to the exercise goal most of the times. So that is one thing that has bugged me a lot. And also, the other issue is that it tracks when you don't need it to. There have been many times when I did not even work out, but I could see in the exercise goal it's already added 5 to 6 minutes or so. Probably that was a time that I had an elevated heart rate, or I was just doing some chores or something. So probably it assumed that I was working out or something, then that's why it added to the exercise goal. But that is not accurate, because I was really not intending to work out at that time. So it should have not added, and uh, it it ultimately added to my exercise goal, and my exercise goal for that day got reduced, which should not have happened. So this is one thing that I wanted to report, is that it does not track when you need it to, and sometimes it tracks when you sorry. So this is something that I wanted to report, that it does not track when you need it to, and when you don't need it, it tracks. So that is something that I wanted to report. I really hope that in the Apple Watch 7 and higher, these issues are addressed. Even the 6 version, I hope they address this issue and give, because this is completely up to software, because I can clearly see that the sensors are working really well on this. Even on the Apple Watch SE, the sensors are really good. As I mentioned, that they track your activity really well, but there is something with the software that needs to be worked out. Yeah, another thing I wanted to mention was about the heart rate sensor. So the heart rate sensor is accurate, it detects really well, but the thing with that is that mostly when I'm working out, I think because of sweat or something on the sensor, it tracks it really late, I would say. Because like even if I'm working out, I'm walking really fast, then I could feel my heart rate elevated, but it still shows about 80 or 90 BPM or so. And then it gets stuck on refreshing. So that takes, sometimes it takes time to refresh your heart rate, and it shows in the exercise, sorry, in the workout as well, because it does not track your heart rate when it should. There is a bit of a delay in that. It keeps on loading, and 5 to 6 minutes later, we get that actual heart rate, which was 5 to 6 minutes before. And I can't really say that the heart rate is accurate now, because that time also I'm walking, so it's the same heart rate. So, there are some issues with and especially some delays with the heart rate tracking sensor. But if you intentionally just turn on the heart rate sensor to just check your current heart rate, then it works fine. It's only in the workouts that I see there is a delay. So the next thing is about accidental touches. So even if you get a splash of water or anything on it, it does not reject those touches or anything. For example, if you just drop some water on it, it will register it as a touch, and it does not reject those accidental touches. I think it should, because sometimes it just incorrectly just touches anywhere and just responds to some notification or anything. It has happened to me before. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the notifications lag, and this is something that has repeatedly bugged me, because calls are okay, calls get routed really well, but sometimes the notifications don't. Even though I have a notification on my phone, it takes a while to come to this Apple Watch SE, even though it's really nearby my phone. So there is a bit of a delay there also. The other thing I want to talk about, which goes hand in hand with this notifications lag, is entirely the Bluetooth lag, because what I do, even for recording a video like this, I usually look at the camera on this to just make sure that I'm recording the right frame. And there also sometimes it just shows a blank screen on the watch, and I have to restart my phone or the watch to actually pair it again, so that it registers the it syncs the video properly. So the viewfinder on the iPhone and this do not sync up really quickly. There is a bit of a delay. Sometimes it just does not work, and I have to either restart either of the devices, and just restarting or reconnecting via the Bluetooth does not help for some reason. I think it's with something with the cache or something that requires a restart of either the devices to actually repair or reconnect from the start. So the next thing is about the brightness. Well, this is not a much of a big issue, but outdoors the brightness is not that great. But I think that is expected from the Apple Watch SE. But it is something that you should keep in mind, because if you're using your Apple Watch a lot outdoors, then it's not that bright, I would say. Now, the next thing is the lack of an always on display. And also, the wake up sensor that is there in this is really slow. Uh, a lot many of the times I just wait to lift and it does not show up. I have to tap it to see the time or something. I mean, most of the times it does, it works fast, but sometimes, especially like if I'm outdoors or if I'm driving also, it becomes sometimes it becomes difficult to just view the time on this watch. So that is something that I would suggest, that if that is an issue for you, then do go with the Apple Watch 6 or 7, which have the always on display. Now, the next thing is about the battery life. The battery life is okay-ish, I would say. Like if you charge in the day, then you can get through the night, but around about 10 p.m. or so, I have to put it on charge and I use it the next morning. Because now how my routine has become is like by 10 p.m. or so, usually I hit all my goals. So in that time, I put it to charge and I just use it the next morning. So I think that is enough for most people, but that is just my routine. So the battery life is okay for me, but it's not great to keep just to mention, There is one thing that it has the power reserve feature. So if you're outdoors, then you can use that and it can definitely give you more battery life. But the main issue with the battery, is the battery health, the battery capacity that has reduced. Just in 1 year, the battery capacity has reduced by 4%. It's now 96%, which is actually, this is showing up in all Apple devices nowadays. I think it's with the type of battery they are using, even in iPhones. The battery health is reducing really quickly, even. And in my opinion, I think it's with the fast charging. They really don't react well to the fast charging, and that's why the battery capacity is reducing at a higher rate than it used to before. And just 1 year down the line, we are seeing 4%, or in iPhones 2% battery drop we are seeing. So in this one has 4% drop. Not that I am actually seeing much of an issue in day-to-day usage, but that is something to keep in mind, that probably by next year it would reduce more. So if you are planning on using this for more than 2 years or so, then just note that the battery life is not that great, and the battery health is also dropping. So it probably might not last you for more than 2 years or so. Okay, guys, so that was about the cons of this. So do let me know if some of those, if you're already using an Apple Watch SE and you face some of those issues, then do let me know in the comment section below. Now we'll talk about the pros and why I love this device and I'm using this daily even still. So the main thing I would say is that overall it works okay. See, because I'm not like a fitness enthusiast or anything, and I'm not a. Usually my workouts are not that complicated. I usually go out for walks or outdoor walks or something, or I indoor also I do some mixed cardio. For those activities and all that, it's like I don't have many complex workout activities. So for a medium user like me, the overall working of this is as expected and up to the mark, I would say, because that's all I need from this Apple Watch SE. So even though sometimes it's not accurate or anything, it does not matter to me that much. I just need a device to track my fitness, just to have an exercise tracking goal. I just want one device to track my activities and also effectively meet my daily exercise, stand and move goals. So this is something that works fully for me. And all the issues that I mentioned, as I mentioned, that I'm able to get through them using mixed cardio mode. So it's not much of a deal breaker for me, and I have pretty much gotten used to this device. Even the notifications lag thing, I'm not using this as much of a business user, so those notification lags, those notifications lag do not affect me that much, and I usually tend to just check all my notifications on my phone itself. So yeah, overall this watch is, I think, like an all-rounder. It has most of the features that a fitness tracking watch should, and it's an overall good watch, I would say. There's also one good feature about this is that with this Apple Watch SE, you can unlock your iPhone as well. So it was a big issue that wearing masks, you can't use the Face ID on your iPhones. So, but if you're wearing an Apple Watch, it becomes really quick and easy. The next thing I like about this watch is the speaker quality. The speakers are really loud, and sometimes I also take calls from the speaker of this Apple Watch SE. And I would say I'm pretty much happy about it because it becomes really convenient, if your phone is far away and if you have just received an important call that you need to urgently pick up, you can just pick it up from your Apple Watch, and the speakers are pretty loud enough to, have a good talk. The microphone is also really great. I also love the vibration motor of this Apple Watch SE. The haptic feedback that it gives is really good. The next thing is about the charging. I would say the charging is really fast. I am using a 10-watt charger because you don't get the charging brick in the box. So, but the magnetic MagSafe charger that comes with it, and using a 10-watt charger also, I'm able to charge it really quickly. Like in an hour or so, it gets charged completely. So that's a good thing for me. Now, coming to the conclusion. So, as I already mentioned, that overall this watch works really well for me. So, if you're a medium user, if your workouts are not going to be that intense or that complex with different activities that you want to track accurately, then I think this would work for most people who usually prefer going out on outdoor runs or walks or cycling. For such like level one activities, I would say for this tracking purposes, it's really good. And the overall functionality of also about this watch, the connectivity, the notifications, the speakers, the microphone, everything, including the storage also. The storage also is really good. So I think overall this watch serves as a good smartwatch even in 2022 or late 2021. But it does lack some features. So if you need those features like SpO2 and VO2 Max, that all the special features which are reserved for the Apple 6 and the 7. So if you don't need all those features, then I think this watch can be an overall a good smartwatch for you. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys like this video. Do subscribe to this channel if you like this content, and do give a thumbs up also, as it helps the algorithm boost my videos. And let me know your thoughts on the Apple Watch or whichever Apple Watch you are using right now. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.